and then by the time I can, like, moments pass kind of thing. And yeah. I don't know. Ads are just weird. And the other thing too is because, like, obviously I'm on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. If I announce that there's an ad happening and it's on Twitch, like, I have no clue when the ads play on YouTube because YouTube's automated to optimize for less interruptions to the viewers or whatever. So it plays in moments where it thinks it's less disruptive, which should be points in times where something's like momentarily quiet, or like I'm saving, or like there's nothing huge happening or whatever in a game. So it's AI is supposed to figure that out. So I don't know when the fuck ads play for them. It'd be kind of cool to like get like feedback on when stuff does play. I don't think this transport pod's got anything in it yet. I've been trying not to like overlap all the excess food, but I kind of need a couple of people to actually come out here and pack up the one that has pemmican. We've got survival meals going in that one. I kind of want... I know you're coming up to refuel. Borrow's coming up with the pemmican. Actually, if this is the one that's got the pemmican... It's got some pemmican. Might do is Dan. Gathering supplies, I guess we'll leave that. Borrow, mate. I guess I can't get them to like forcibly do it. What are you doing? You're hauling steel to stockpile zone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got steel coming up there. That's another thing too, is I'm actively like bringing steel and jade and plasteel and shit all up in the base at the same time as I'm like stowing shit away. So that's happening. Let me build more of those. The other thing too is I realized that a lot of my transport pods are only set to 147 instead of 150 for some reason. I don't know if I had that previously set or if that's like an automatic thing. But yeah, I want to have a look at the ones that have got content in them. Because I'm pretty sure it should be more than... Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's like $2,000 going in there. I want them to get the pemmican and stuff and the packaged survival meals and stuff in here. I also want them to get the steel and the plasteel and all that stuff brought up here. The only problem is if it's in a stack, this is part of the problem that I've got. Ignore that for a sec. If it's in a stack of like 2,800, it's one stack, right? So only one person can access that stack at a time, which is why it's so slow to pack some of these things. Because if it's a matter of, like, here we've got, like, simple meals. We've got 23, 12, nearly 600, 1, 14, 7, 6, 12. Like, they can come in here and go, okay, well, I'll take one from that, one from that, one from that, and have, like, 3 different people bringing a thing over to pack it at a time. It's a little bit faster. But I'm pretty sure we had like 3 to 6,000 or something like that. I'm pretty sure the pemmican probably hasn't packed. Some of the steel has to have packed because I'm still bringing up steel. Some of the plasteel has. I'm definitely not going to have as much resources as I wish I did, but like it's whatever they can pack in the next like 15 minutes, realistically. And I also have a caravan that should be packing up too. Because the thing I was thinking about with this is, you see, when they pack up the caravans, they pack up like this. And it's the same kind of thing. So I kind of thought about setting up a caravan that's like supposed to go out, but it has like most of the food, but it's not actually going anywhere. And seeing if they can pack up enough food for that. I don't think they could. But if I had one down here that's doing steel and I had one up there that's doing steel, like that would also be a way to do it. I have like nothing growing out here though because of the cold snap. I'm going to have to remember to re-enable growing. But yeah, for once I have like nobody's doing like yard stuff. Look how fucking barren this is. Only that decided to stay because it can handle the cold being outside. Oh man. They did go cut down some trees though. Like Franklin's out here cutting down some trees. And yeah, Farrell and stuff. They've been cutting down trees, which is great. It's not helping by having all these like little stacks everywhere. But like there's another 3 grand in trees just sitting up on like here anyway. So in the worst case scenarios, if I lose like a lot of that, I have got like individual fucking piles of like a shit ton of stuff. So there is that. Oh man. Alright. I want to pack up a couple more of these, but I don't know how well they're packing it all to begin with. And they're bringing stuff in, they're packing it all out. I would like to get to a point where I actually have like storage space at the new location. The other thing too is I have to design a base. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Because like I had a plan for this one. I knew what I was going to do with this kind of stuff in the center to begin with when we came here. But all this stuff on the outside wasn't really the same as what it initially looked like. If you guys remember, we only had it like this kind of like thin going up around the corners. A couple of big grow rooms and stuff like that. And then we had to like branch out because I kept getting more and more people. Was that Farrell? Ender? What's wrong with Ender? Yellow Segura's bedroom. Slept in cold, chilly. I probably don't have spare clothes for you, mate. Because it's still pretty cold. The bedrooms are not holding up to spec. I put some of these rooms up to like fucking 50, 60 temperature-wise to try to combat the fucking night. English. Minus 16 and stuff. Ones seem to be living pretty good. They'll have their own room. Pretty much. Obviously, couples and stuff have, you know, dual beds and stuff. But yeah, everybody has their own room. With the exception of there's a couple of new people that have joined that I'm using my hospital as an extra bed space to kind of get a gist of how many extra beds are being used. But I also have this group out here, this like group of 26 colonists that are already on their way to roughly the area where we're going to move to. And so like I'm going to have to make new beds and new bedrooms and stuff like that. I was toying around with like sizes of rooms and stuff like that to keep them happy and stuff. I wanted bigger rooms than this, but I couldn't realistically push for bigger rooms than this because even if I got a place that didn't have this issue, right, where I can't grow stuff out here and my animals can't be penned and grazed out here, right? And realistically, I could have built on the sand, but I can't build out here. So I've got this area of map that I just can't use. If I could have used that, I'd have so much more area and it'd be easier with food and I could spread out with the buildings and stuff. But I also don't want to do that to a new location because I feel like I'd just be wasting the extra space I'd be given for them to be grazing and shit. But I did try, everybody had like an animal box and they had a cat bed, they had a bedside table, they had lights. Most of these beds should be excellent, give or take. Like their rooms aren't terrible, but yeah, they're not super, super great. Some people like Human, her bedroom should be down here. Human's bedroom and stuff. Your loser's bedroom. But some people that wanted nicer bedrooms, they've got like statues and shit in it. Farrell's is, where am I on the map? Hold on. Farrell's is up here somewhere, I think. Yeah, here. We've got Human and we've got Farrell's bedroom and stuff. Like they have nice shit in theirs. Like they've got like, you know, good sculptures and excellent and stuff like that to try to boost up their room because they care about their room. So, I mean, everybody's got a personal space, and apart from the occasional thing where somebody might walk through the room, like most of them are single cell rooms that have one entry, one exit kind of thing, so that they're not all being disrupted and stuff. This was something I was talking about during Rim Connect, actually, is while, yes, at a certain point, if you have enough colonists and stuff like that, you put enough good furniture in a room and all that stuff, it does make it like a great barracks and shit. But when you have, like I do, where everybody's like daytimer, there's a few night timers, and everybody's got different schedules and stuff like that, right? I tend to find that the amount of people coming and going through the rooms, waking people, and the amount of poor night's sleep is just not worth it on this scale of colony. So giving them their own space, like they can come in here and they can meditate, or they can sleep during the day if they need to, or, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then obviously they've got, you know, 3 dining rooms that they can choose from. They mostly use the front one, but if 2 of them are full, sometimes people go into the last one. They're heated, they have TVs, they've got sculptures, like the rooms aren't bad kind of thing. I do try to keep them cleaner, but I wanted it to only have like a one entryway and not a passageway, but I really have to like sort out a kitchen hallway type system anyway, because yeah, I need the cooking area to be enclosed and not have people passaging through it, but I also need the storage room accessible by both, and a dining room also accessible, but not the passageway. Like none of these need to be passageway and shit. So there's a bit of like tricky shit figuring that out. They all have like really nice hospitals. We have almost like, normally if I don't have any prisoners and all of this section in the middle is prison hospital as well, I normally have like a substantial hospital area, because yeah, this area and that and these 2 spaces, they have sufficient hospital stuff. They get okay medicine. They've got like blue medicine mostly. They have like a shit ton of herbal, but obviously can't keep enough glitter world medicine for this place. And I can't make it. So I don't have that. They have okay meals. Like occasionally we get food poisoning. If somebody in my colony hasn't had food poisoning, they haven't eaten yet. That's generally the consensus. They have like a nice rec room, you know. They can come up here and they can read, they can play poker or pool or chess, or, you know, they can watch TV, different size TVs, stuff like that. They've got nice, like, couches and stuff. They've got board games, all the things, basically. So, yeah, they got nice statues and all sorts of shit in here to buff the room, and it should be warm and stuff. But yeah, of course, like, if I can't keep up with their clothing production or something like that, like, it doesn't matter how nice shit is, if they're walking around in ratty apparel, or, you know, they, I don't know, decide to eat something raw, or not sit at a table, or, you know, whatever, they'll end up having a tantrum about it. I don't have too many people that have issues in around the base. Like, a lot of them, I don't really have anybody. I might have like 3 people that have chemical fascination, aren't allowed drugs because there's no drugs colony, so they can't even have like a beer recreationally or anything like that. But like, still, like, they've also got little games all the way out here too, hidden around my map. They're a bit harder to see, but I can find one. There we go. And they got heaps of games and shit that they can play. I wish I still had like, was it the hoops? What is it? A hoop something game? You can't make it. It's like hoop shooter game or something like that. But yeah, I've made them everything that they can have to like enjoy. Most of the place is like lit up. Most of it has power. Give or take, I have deconstructed some shit at the moment, so they don't have as much power as they need to run crap. They've got like, I don't know. I've tried to make it as nice as possible for them here, accommodate them. The last place we were at, we just never got off the ground with it. So I never got to like embellish it. The first place we got to a point where everybody had a room, and we had a couple of hospitals, and we had all the facilities and shit. And everybody was mostly pretty good there. but nobody had luxuries. Nobody had, like, I didn't go out of my way to make them all have, like, excellent beds to the best of my ability. Like, click on most random beds, unless they have broken it, they should have excellent or better beds and stuff. Same with the end tables, although to be fair, they smashed them a lot. So a lot of those won't be better quality, but some of them will be. But yeah, they all have, like, their own space. I wanted to have, like, that they could have, like, a couch in their room, maybe some books, something like that, or, like, have a book area in the vicinity of their bedrooms that they could go and pick a book and go, like, read it in their room or whatever and stuff. But, like, yeah, sometimes it's just not possible to provide that, you know. They are packing up the steel good, though. What's the other one, then? That one. Okay, so simple meals are in there. That doesn't look like that's all the stuff. I don't think 285 was all the simple meals. Is it at its weight limit? Hold on. I don't know if that's your weight limit for that pod. No, it's not. Asking them to throw pemmican in there won't really do anything. I could ask them to throw rice in it. That'll help. I do like that I can at least, like, fill up the extra if it's not quite the weight limit. That was like an issue and a half. I probably can't salvage the pemmican. I'll say that. And whatever's going on with the medicine, it seems to be the same stacking issue. I could salvage a heap of wood, but I'd rather try to put away steel and plasteel. Steel preferably over plasteel, but I've got a few. I got a few of the plasteel pods around the place. I'd really like to just stockpile, like, mostly food out of interest. Mostly food, mostly medicine, but kind of not how that's going. Mostly because they decided to pile up the pemmican into one giant blob here, as you guys can see. So only one person can access that stack at a time to put it away. But it does look like mostly my food, apart from my medicine stacks, is still pretty high, but they're not at 1,000, which is good. I do have one stack of over 1,000 rice here. Apart from that, all of my stacks of food are looking small-ish, which is great. It's really just like the medicine's borderline and the pemmican. If I lose the pemmican out of all of this, like, I'll be kind of pissed off, but I can't really truly be mad because I have, like, a lot of other stuff stowed away, preventing them from being 1,000 stacks. That's pretty good. As long as they don't buff up that medical stack will be great. Because otherwise I'll lose 1,000 medicine. I don't think I've got everything I could have packed. But how are we going for, like, steel and shit in here? Because I've got people also mining steel in here, actively adding to the storage. I've got 300 stack. I'm looking for steel specifically. And 200s, 500s. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything over, like, 5 or so hundred. Like, there's, like, well, not anything over 600, that's for sure. This matters. Not sure if it'll help you with colony, but I have a save similar size, and it's like need for wildlife, butcher all egg-laying farm animals, cutting down the farm quantity to like 40-80 animals, moving 100 people. How on foot helped flag shelves like that. Yeah, no, that's kind of useless information for me. But welcome in, Zaf. So I have 282 colonists and 2 prisoners, and I've got probably about 500 plus animals. And yeah, no, it doesn't matter. This save has been going for like 2.5 years, and it's got like probably 3 more years to go if it doesn't crash during the 1.6 version update. And it's a closed mods playthrough, so the 6 mods that I started with are the 6 mods that I will finish the game with, whether or not they're working. And I don't have any performance mods, and I'm testing what core game can really do. I don't have any DLCs, so yeah, none of that's going to help, because I need to have between 500 and 700 animals to be able to feed my colony. And my egg laying creatures, the only reason why I would cull them off is if 1.6 makes them fly and their flying is annoying. Like, if it causes them to fly out of the pens, then I'll cull them, because I just won't deal with that shit. Like, if somebody's got to keep coming and bringing them in, I just won't deal with that shit. But when they're laying all the eggs and stuff, I have a few hundred meat-eating animals. You'll see down in here we've got like random eggs and stuff like that on the ground and stuff, and I have like, give or take, like cats lurking around in here and panthers and all sorts of stuff, right? So they need to be able to access like random eggs and stuff like that to keep my cats and panthers out of my food storage, to keep them away from the very, very little meat production that I actually have culled up in here, so that they're not like eating my supplies and shit as much. So I do need them. And yeah, I got a fuck ton. But what was that? Inspired trade. The only reason why we've got it as bad as we've got at the moment is because I've been fucking around with 1.6 unstable and coming back into 1.5, and that seems to be causing a problem today. Previously, it was running fine and everything was just moving around just great, but we had like a whole bunch of freezing earlier tonight, and I do think that's related to forcing it in and like bringing this in, then running it for several hours to test what I wanted to test multiple times over, changing back and forth between the versions and stuff. When the version updates, this tile, like last time, will shit itself. And we'll probably have to move, but we're already planning to move. I had got delayed moving our base because of that, you know. Gotta go to a store. We'll leave stream open. No worries, Abra. I'm pretty much almost finished stream tonight anyway. I did start like a little bit late, but I'm not going to be able to get all of these packed up in time to like have it all squirreled away before 1.6 updates. But like I said, I will check how you go to a store, by the way. I will check how it goes when 1.6 updates. I'll have a look if the Deep Stacks mod is like updated and working, and I will run a test as soon as I possibly can to see if it's going to do this again or not. Because like if it's going to do that regardless and there's nothing I can do about it, like I will probably give it like a week if the mod's not updated already. But if it does it and the mod's updated already, then there's nothing I could ever do about it in the first place. But whatever I have got stored in these and whatever I've got on the caravans and stuff may just help prevent, like I said, with these stacks and stuff like that, not all being like over 1,000 at this point in time, except for that pemmican and except for the wood. We should be okay. I shouldn't lose as much stuff, especially the chem fuel, since I have all of these like packed with chem fuel. I don't even want all these transport pods. I plan to like disassemble them and put all my supplies and stuff back. And just whatever I've got, then I'll just use like a couple of transport pods that I've got on the map, and I'll start flinging probably some people and some resources to the new location so that they can arrive ahead of time for this group, so that we can have some stuff set up. But they do have a lot of my benches and they do have a lot of my materials as well. So I mean, the good thing is at least this group have like 700 odd pemmican, and they've got like, you know, about 800 or 900 packaged survival meals. So that's going to help us anyway with keeping them alive. But you guys have seen it before. I've had 3 fucking near starvation events. We can bounce back from that even if it is winter. I've just got to wait for the cold snap to finish before I start sowing my crops again out here. Because there's no point in case they die. It's too cold. But my bedrooms and shit, they'll be lovely and toasty soon. I'll have to turn that down because I'll have everybody bitching that they're like roasting and sweating in their sleep and shit. But, yeah. No, I think when 1.6 updates, we're going to have momentarily game tile shitting itself like we did with Quillen. And then we'll probably have, like, I would like to have a little bit of time to move between the two locations without losing everything and without having to abandon a location again, because of, like, the level of damage it could potentially do to my save. But, like, if it's running okay and I have time to move everything, I will have so much shit at the next location. We'll be so fucking set up, which is what I want, which is, like, we've only just got, like, some people have got, like, their bionics and prosthetics installed. We've got some helmets, finally. Most people, pretty much everybody has a weapon of some description, which is great. We have animals to move with, like, we have extra animals to move with, actually, which is great. And I have, like, I think almost all of my yaks, dromedaries, and horses are currently pregnant, I think. A lot of my sheep are. I have a shit ton of sheep, I really do. I also need to train you guys as well. I have some new surplus panthers, which is great. My repopulation of panthers has been so slow. It's just such a shadow of what it was before. But yeah, my dromedaries, say about half of my dromedaries, give or take, are pregnant. Where are my yaks? Marfalos have had their calves by the look of it. A lot of calves. That's really good. As long as they don't reach adulthood and we don't auto-cull them, that'll be great. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like most of them have already had their calves and foals. There's only the dromedaries that are holding back at this point. So, yeah, I should be able to take most of the adults and pack them up. And then we can do a couple of caravans. Because I'm still going to send physical caravans, but I've got to, like, load them up with the heavy shit that I don't want to try to transport pod because it's insufficient to kind of do that. Like, I can only put, like, 300 steel in a transport pod, for instance, but I can put thousands of steel in a caravan, you know? So I'll be doing that. But that's definitely going to be, like, that's going to be next week. That's going to be post 1.6. Honestly, like I said, I've got to test it. So there may or may not be RimWorld next Tuesday, right? Because if the mod hasn't updated yet, which it should have in the last month because I had access to it, but if they haven't, and I need to just give it another week, I will, but I'll also run some tests and shit. So I don't know what next week's gonna be. Might be RimWorld, might not be RimWorld. I have 4 traders coming to this location. I'm waiting for Cold Snap to finish to re-sow the paddocks and stuff. And we have a caravan going out to go fuck up some people for, like, some good shit. I'm hoping that they don't just drop that in my base, like, ASAP. Because I don't want that on my map beforehand, so we should be good. And then, yeah. Then we'll be moving. So once that happens, we'll be moving. Thank you for the follow, Lufano. Lufano? Yeah. This group's gonna still take, like, a good few streams to get up there. This isn't the spot that we're moving to. We're moving to this area somewhere in here. I had a location and then we had to get rid of it because the 1.6 maps are not the same as the 1.5 maps, and the 1.5 map that I chose is not viable on 1.6 to support my colony. So I narrowed it down to 2 locations and I've just got to pick one and then start designing what it's going to look like, and then we can kind of move. So yeah, but in the meantime, it's going to take them a while to get up into this area anyway, so I don't mind shipping out a couple of caravans, because then at least I'll have resources flowing in as like I get there. But what I do want to do is, whichever place I pick, I want to pre-send a whole bunch of my colonists and some gear and get them in there working on some shit, so that we can kind of like just get in there and build and have some structure for when like the groups of caravans arrives, because I don't want them to be all out on like flatbeds on the ground and shit again, you know. Not like when we moved here and this room in the center here was our home for like 180 people. Let's not do that again.